Sarah, you need a story in particular about why you are traveling with this group. I don't I don't have a great one at the moment, to be honest. But if anybody has any ideas, I figured I would just put up my Talir and change my image.
So I'm confused. Are we expecting to find a lot of survivors here? We thought the place was abandoned and destroyed.
I know Isabel saw the place leveled, but the Sarah's information was that people are still living here.
Okay.
Nearby, particularly Osmir and Syl, her sister. So I just want to have at least an idea of if we encounter them, if we encounter people and they take us to them, whatever. Other than just have your ex-fiance show up from the dead with your wife's sister. That's probably a bad plan.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I forgot that Sarah said people were living here, so.
We could always say that, I was headed this way with a different group, of course. But they don't necessarily know that.
The best lies do have mostly truth in them. You could still say that you could talk about Tamir, talk about him going crazy, talk about this group picking up with you. The timeline can just be a little fuzzy and be like, and they were headed to Central for their own business. So I hitched along a ride with them.
Especially since we're about to go to Briarwood, which isn't that your initial or like ultimate mission, Sarah, or initial mission?
Yes. Do we still have the letter? Did we burn that? I don't remember.
I don't know why we would have burned it.
I've got it listed in the bag of holding.
Beautiful. That could be of some use. Showing we have a letter intended for Briarwood.
And then that this group was headed towards Central, and you, armless, needed to travel them the time being.
Yeah, a bit safer. I could hide the the fancy new digs if we do encounter anything.
Okay, well, I will disguise my appearance then.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Suru, I need a name recommendation.
What about? Well, I don't know. You can't really turn your name backwards. It's kind of the same either way.
Yeah, it is unfortunately a palindrome. To have on a...
What about Talia?
Talia. Sold. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Sarah, do you know, are there people like living in, is it a large settlement that we're expecting to encounter? Or is it just stragglers? Do you have any idea?
I don't know what to encounter exactly. It was told to me that specifically my sister was still alive and still here, I was planning to swing by Central after I went to Briarwood. On my own. It was something that Sarah said. He said she was still alive, that Osmia was there. So it was something that I wanted to check out on my own.
I got you.
I hadn't seen some of the other cities at that point, but after seeing Mountain Heart and on our travels, it's a little less likely, especially after what Isabel said. I don't know how anyone could be there if the city was leveled.
And do we think that they're going to be friendly to us when we get there, or are we likely to be treated as enemies? That's for you or Anna, Sarah. I don't know.
I wouldn't see why they wouldn't be friendly to us if it is indeed my sister, but I don't know. I don't think she'd take too kindly to seeing Anna.
I agree with that. Osmir is he at least used to be a generally trusting person, or wise, discerning. It's not like he would be your best friend immediately, but there were armed strangers who showed up in town. We normally want to hear them out, especially once they realize Sarah's a part of the party. It would be.
Okay.
Well, I'd have a lot of unpacking to do if they just jumped us.
Just so I'm clear on the plan as well, we're stopping by on our way to Briarwood along with Sarah? Or are we simply dropping her off? In quotes.
Oh.
Dropping her off.
Probably TBD. That we were, I think, Sarah, having lost her arm, wanted the safety of numbers, and we were headed to Centrel, and since she wanted to see her sister, it made sense, and we would reevaluate once we got there. Does that hold any water with people?
That sounds fine with me. Same general story of Lord Briarwood looking for contact beyond the wall.
Yep.
My concern's not necessarily with the story itself, but will that get in the way of your goals, Anna?
I'm probably going to have to get Osmir by himself for any goal, or we're going to, if it turns into an outright confrontation.
We've all seen Basic Instinct. It's all good.
I would like to get a chance to talk to him, obviously. I made that
Would a distraction help? We could really play up this arm thing on Sarah. And I'm clearly not from around here, so Isabel, if you've got any bloody rags, we could pretend I found Sarah. And she said to come here to help. And then you guys could, sneak in the back or something.
I will say I'm not the best actress looking at my character sheet, so...
Anyways, any goal I have to try to turn Osmir to our side or save him or reconnect with him or whatever I want to do is, like you said, it has to be secondary to living and finding the Ember. So the fact that the Ember is very possibly in the city, it's causing me to rethink that that's most important. until we find out where that is or relocate it or find out what happened to it. I just can't get too distracted.
Well, and we should all set the expectations that it's quite likely the Ember is gone, since there was a missing piece of the Titan heart already. We certainly weren't the first ones there.
Or we will discover somebody.
Yeah.
Should that not be made clear in our conversation with her then? That that's our real goal? And if they had that information, would they be willing to give it up to us?
I doubt it. If Still is still working with Selrani, which I think we should assume she is, they would not be with wanting to share that information with us, because they would likely be trying to gather embers for themselves. If Selrani understands what they do, what they mean, she is also somebody who would be looking for them. That's at least my assumption. That's what I had.
Dope. All right, so as it is the evening at this point, did you guys want to continue on to get there in like the dark, or do you want to camp, or what's your plot?
I think we said arrive during the day, right?
Yeah, the plan last time was to camp, and I still think it's the best plan.
Hashtag hut up.
Hut it up. Beef. Beep. Okie doke. Find a nice little place to hut it up, maybe against some jagged rocks or something. And the evening passes.
Out of curiosity, just like when we're on watch, I mean, I know we're like a mile from. What's that?
Yeah. I was.
I don't know exactly how far we are from the city. Do we see any sort of like firelight or lights in buildings or anything like that? Just shot in the dark.
So from this distance, you can't get a great look at where the main city would be, but it is rather dark, and just kind of looking in that direction, you don't see any light from here. Just general passives or whatever. If you want to roll, you absolutely can.
Yeah. Well,
perception.
Michael was also something I would want to do during my watch.
Heck yeah! If anybody needs to do anything this evening, just let me know.
Do Steven's perception thing first.
Sure, it's pretty bad.
It's not great. It's maybe worse than what I even described.
Yeah, I mean it's a 2 on the die, so I saw that and just immediately moved on.
Just so dark.
It's a new moon.
Yep.
Super dark.
Oops, dark.
Is it still kind of overcast and rainy?
Yes, it is. The rain is still kind of continuing a bit into the evening. So as you kind of like, as Stephen's hut springs into existence, you guys kind of start. It is probably very nice to be out of the rain. The hut does keep nice and warm and dry, so it's a good, nice little holing up spot.
It's been a while since we've done watch stuff. Who is on first watch with Isabel? Is it just Saru? Or is it somebody else?
You tell me.
My recollection was Isabel Saru, and then it was Arthur and Clavius, R.I.P., and then the elves for the last two.
Right. So, Isabel, during our watch, Isabel will turn to Saru at one point and say, I am going to step outside the hut for a moment. You are welcome to come along.
Well,
Just something I need to take care of. I won't have to go very far. And Isabel will...
I'll come with, but I'll stay back, just within eyesight, though.
Sure. Isabel will step out of the hut. She will
take a giant dump.
She does seem to kind of like look on the ground, like as though she's like looking on the ground, kind of looking for a certain spot. And she just kind of goes to the first puddle or pool large enough to see one's reflection in. And she will kneel down next to it. And she kind of pulls out, or she first takes off both her gloves, stows them on her belt, pulls out a scalpel, looks at it for a moment, and then nicks one of her fingertips, squeezes out a little bit of the blood into the pool. And she takes out another bottle, kind of small vial with clear, shimmering liquid, and she just drops a bit of holy water after the blood. She leans in, kind of looking into the pool, and she speaks few words in Celestial. If Saru is close enough to hear them, I don't remember if he knows Celestial or not, but I don't think so.
No.
But it's hard to tell exactly what she might be saying in Celestial. Be it a small phrase, a saying, a prayer, a beckoning. It's hard to know. As she finishes the phrase, the uttering, she does that like that. You muted.
LOL. I'm over here talking about how I love whispers and beautiful. Okay. So Isabel, you kind of see before you that kind of like it's the puddle before you is kind of cloudy and the mud, the crimson red from the blood, and also the holy water that you had kind of dropped in there. But as you finish your incantation, you see the pool just kind of clears. And it is just this almost mirror-like reflection before you.
She will lean in closer and utter something once more celestial to it. Into it.
The puddle kind of shimmers with this golden, silvery light, almost as if like a bunch of like rain was splattering across its surface. And you know that that is telling you yes.
All right.
Then the pool kind of clears, goes back to that mirror-like state that it was in. The pool begins to almost ripple in that same way again, but it's like sudden, and then just immediately almost like ripples inward. And as the ripples kind of slowly fade, you get the sense that the answer is no.
And last one. Rank 3.
Again, like before, it starts to ripple in this similar way to the first time, and then it immediately stops and ripples back inward. And you get, again, the answer of no. As the ripples fade and that mirror-like finish slowly separates, and you have before you a dirty puddle being hit by the rain falling from above. And Saru, watching on, like you saw Isabel kind of kneel down, and you saw the ripples kind of move, and you maybe did not see the intensity of the silvery glow, or like the deep reflections that Isabel saw before her, but you did see the kind of like unnatural movement. Whatever that unnatural movement means is, to be said. But Isabel's spell, whatever she may have been doing, whatever prayers she may have been saying, there seemed to be some kind of effect.
Isabel will get up and return to the hut. On the way. All right, I'm all done through.
Good.
No harm.
Was that some cool medicinal thing?
No. Something related to the ember I obtained.
Huh.
Anna will be happy to know the ember of sin has not been taken yet.
What is good?
Well, we'll step into the hut. carry on the watch, unless Saru has anything else to say.
Nope.
High level stuff is so cool and so scary. Dope. Is there anything else anyone wants to do tonight on their watch or take care of?
Steven, just before we all get up, will cast the Gift of Alacrity on himself and Anna.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
He will not be doing a short rest.
Okay.
So, like in the past, how I would do that and then spend an hour and get it all back. Not doing that this morning.
Shit. Said you and Anna?
Check.
Great.
I'm just sleeping, Michael.
Oh, good. Glad somebody's just sleeping. I'm just kidding. All right. The night will pass peacefully. And this is probably the first night that you've all slept in the hut during like a storm, during the rain. So it was probably like a little different. The heavy rains kind of came and went and came, and there's thunder, lightning. It was, could be quite the night, depending on if you're into that sort of thing or not. The Elven Watch, the final watch of the night, after their trance, is pretty well used to watching the sunrise on their watch. But will note that no such sun seems to come. The storm lightens and eventually the rain stops, but the sky never really brightens much more than those dawn hour lights. The clouds above kind of remain thick and relatively dark. And as you're all kind of, or as the elves are starting to move around, kind of note your companions might be prone to sleeping in a little bit this morning, just because they're not greeted by this bright morning sun. Because that bright morning sun just doesn't seem to show up, to wake. It is early morning. The rotting of Heliac the 12th, and today's weather is dark AF. I realize I can edit the weather myself, and it's just a wonderful thing. Dark AF, that's what we're calling today. But it is morning, and eventually everyone comes to rise. Sleeping in the hut. You are all restored. And the day is yours. Welcome to the 12th. What's the plan?
So Anna will make sure her hood is pulled up and her red hair is kind of tucked back. And so if she needs to quickly disguise herself, she can do it without it being obvious that her hair was a different color. She would volunteer to lead the people to where she thinks they could find the the seat of Central, the old seat of Central, whatever's left of it.
Do we think it's the throne, or would there be some temple there?
Having not talked about it with Michael, I would assume the pontiff, it'd be where maybe the Grand Cathedral or something was. It was the theocracy. So I would assume the pontiff didn't have a throne, but maybe or maybe he did, but it'd be the big church. The big
yes.
Church.
So there was a central keep of Central, where the paladins would have been trained, but yes, the main quote unquote seat would have been the large, the seat of sin, which is just this massive keep, and there were very, very large cathedral there.
Then lead on.
Dope.
Kavan got anything to say?
Actually, he does. He's been dormant for several days, and although he can't say anything during the time he doesn't win the internal struggle for consciousness, he does perceive the things around him, and he would like to talk to Stephen, and he will do it in a way where he says very gruffly and out loud where everyone can hear him, "Stephen, I'd like to talk to you in private, where none of the other ones know we're having a conversation." And of course, everybody can hear that, but he's telling Stephen to kind of hang back on the road. Does he do it?
Yeah. If I had rolled higher, I was going to do something else. But yeah, no, he'll hang back.
Although I've been dormant for several days.
So wait, hang on.
Yes?
So you're Kavan now?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, Kavan.
I may not be able to say things in the moment, but I see what goes on. Your lightning bolt trick was resplendent, powerful, fueled by emotion. It's what made you so strong in that moment. I don't know the mind of a wizard. I assume there's a certain amount of concentration that has to take place. I've seen a lot of them serene, stoic, passive, if you will. But to see you stand taller than normal, ready for the road ahead, you have the potential for great power. It's for that reason I'd like to tell you a little bit more of my story. It wasn't by chance that I was fighting Nathaniel when we got fused together. You see, I'm a member of a group called the 12. The 12 is a group that believes, the 12 is a group that knows the gods have been purged as protectors and guardians of this world. And soon that same fate will fall upon humanity. Only the worthy will survive. Only the strongest 12 will survive and claim their rightful place as guardians of the world under the leadership of the Soldanas. As a member of the 12, I fought Nathaniel to see if he was worthy. If I cut him down, nothing was lost. If he cut me down, then the fool's errand I have been on, believing I was one of the 12 most powerful, well, he would have put me in my rightful place in the ground and proven me wrong. But make no mistake about it, the day of the 12 is coming. Instincts, passion, emotion guide the 12. From time to time, we seek out the strong and engage them to see who will stand victorious and have a chance at that glorious day. Other times, like now, we tell someone like yourself who has unlimited potential about the nature of who we are. The reason I'm telling you about our group is because I've heard the conversations of your party. I've seen the fire in your eyes. I've seen that nothing in this world is going to stop you from shortly turning to the southwest, to Briarwood. There are others who may not follow. And if Nathaniel wins the day lots are decided and a party splits, I need for you to know that as you grow in power, I can see you under the leadership of the Soldanas as one of the few that remain that will guide this world into true harmony, where there's no need to protect the weak, because there will be no weak. Only the 12 will remain. I hope that I win the day. I hope that I can follow you, because I want to see where your journey takes you. I want to be there on that final battlefield and be in your good graces, so that maybe your lightning bolt be first aimed at someone else when there are 24 of us left. Be aware, there are more of us, and I will follow you as long as I'm able, because I want to see what tricks are come out of your sleeve next.
So what does Nathaniel think of the 12? Is he, in your time together, come to see your way of thinking, or is he ignorant of your beliefs?
I don't know many fancy words, Stephen, but I know he is a milk toast man, incapable of the passions that will allow him to become one of the 12. It is in his self-interest to not believe, because he knows he could never be one. So he is a denier. But he also knows I will not waver from telling this world the unavoidable truth. Strength will survive.
Well, that I certainly agree. I must admit I don't know much about Soldanus, or whether only 12 of us will remain, but you are certainly right that in this new world after the burning, the strong must look out for each other, and where we can protect others. And perhaps not today, but I would love to hear more about this, Kavan. Hopefully you win your battle again soon, so that I can hear more.
Every day, it gets a little easier. Some would say it requires a lower dice roll for me to win the day against Nathaniel. And the great thing about the 12, Stephen, is it doesn't require blind faith. It doesn't require you to believe in something you don't know. You just have to simply be one of the last ones standing. That's it.
Well, that I can say I certainly intend to do.
And he will give him a nod and then say a little louder, something like, and that's how a bill becomes a law, for everybody to think that they were talking about politics or something, whatever barbarians and wizards talk about.
It's always politics. Crazy. They always align to those wizards and barbarians' political views. Anything else that anyone's doing as you walk towards Centrel?
Just along the way somewhere, Xerxes would say, "Hey, Kavan."
Hey, old man.
I was thinking, you're pretty new to the party and everything, so team dynamics are really important in a thing like this. You may want to consider maybe talking to Steven in private sometime. Seemed like maybe it'd be a good idea for you. Don't know.
You are as wise as you are nimble.
He'll just sort of chuckle to himself and just feel good. Just feel good about that.
Oh god, it's too good. I love it. Alrighty then. As you walk on towards the city, you start to see more signs in this kind of deeply scarred ground that you are amongst the outskirts of the once built up outer city of Central. This would have been mostly like the peasant castle city area. Fairly unorganized and generally poor, with kind of larger encampments of like guards and peacekeeping paladins about the area. Small temples would have been out here run by volunteers, clergymen. There would also been some poorer markets. But now it is quite literally rubble. There are signs of buildings and barricades, and there are obvious signs that war happened here, but it seems more like a war that happened long ago, rather than one that had been as recent as just before the burning. It is eerie, to say the least. It is also, as hopefully has been hammered home, quite darker than it should be outside. The storm, the clouds, definitely hanging around, but even so, it generally gets brighter than this during the day, even when it storms. Something fairly unnatural seems to be going on around these parts. Also, as you kind of close this distance, you can see that you can see where the outer walls of Central once stood. They are again rubble. As your eyes kind of scan inwards towards the more like organized inner region of the city that would have stood within these outer walls, you see that there is more of a buildup of rubble here, kind of similar to what you witnessed at Bray, but unlike Bray, where there was some semblance of like buildings and like an obvious memory of the city, it's kind of just pure chaos and destruction. There's just literally hills of leveled earth and ash, and it is very clear that the Titan that tore through here those years ago did indeed burn the city to the ground. What is left is char and ash and rubble. The land is scarred and blackened, but what does stand that you can see is the large central keep structure of Central. A once beautiful cathedral-like structure that was somewhere between this kind of large castle fortress and a brilliant Gothic church. And for the most part, it's still standing. It is kind of in major disrepair, as far as you can tell from this distance. It kind of appears that the once white stones now resemble something more of charred dark black. And the structure appears less like a fortress and more like a still standing, like ancient ruin. But out of kind of everything, as you scan the area in this like pretty desolate region, it is the one kind of still held together structure. As you walk towards Central. The further in you go, the more kind of signs you see of like, oh, that is a piece of building, or that is a piece of, these are bricks over here. This is kind of mixed in to the ground, to the dirt, to the ash. And then you'd probably also start to see corpses, or what was once corpses, more like kind of skeletal remains at this point. As many of you are pretty familiar, the area surrounding Centrel was one of the final battlefields before the burning. And you start to see more signs of these kind of dark skeletons of humanoids and primordials alike that can kind of be found encased in the earth, like all over this area. And it seems the closer towards the city you get, the more prevalent you start to see these bodies. And as you're marching, I would love to know the marching order of your party.
Arthur can be first.
Classic, Artie.
How far outside the city would you say we are at this point?
You are nearing the probably close to 1,000 feet to where the kind of outer city walls would be.
Cool. Can I expend a spell slot for primeval awareness?
You absolutely.
Thank you. For 1 minute per level of the spell. It's going to be first level. You can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you, or up to 6 miles. But I'm not in my favorite terrain. 1 mile, it is aberrations, celestials, dagrons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The feature does not reveal location or number.
There are no Trogdors in the area.
We're safe.
But there are Celestials. What else? Who else is behind Artie?
I wonder if that's other people or if that's now Isabel and Xerxes.
Anna's normally behind Arthur, but she is conspicuously in the back. Where she normally is.
I'll go second then, since Anna's in the back.
Arthur relays the thing about celestials and asks if anybody in the group's a celestial.
Can Isabel use that thing? I didn't make a button for it. Or did I? No, I didn't. It's part of her ember, Michael. It's the third eye.
I'd have to look, but yeah. I mean,
as an action, you can open a third
use
eye to see the aura of the divine. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of celestials or anyone attuned to divine ember within 60 feet of you.
Yeah, you can absolutely use that. As Isabel opens her third eye, Isabel, you see almost as if, Lord of the Rings vision when the ring is on. It kind of goes out from you. And you see this, like, very, if this was actually, an ongoing series, the vision is almost very similar to the intro from last week. Everything is black and gray and dark. And then you see, depending on where Xerxes is in relation to you, but kind of like off to the side, you see this kind of bright orange glowing light coming from within the chest of Xerxes, just kind of shining out. As you can see, the divine ember within him that he is attuned to. Other than that, within 60 feet, you don't see any celestials, or I think that was it, right?
Would I know if Xerxes counted as someone carrying the ember or a celestial or both?
You get the sense that you get the sense that it is just that he is attuned to the ember.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's not Xerxes or I that are tripping whatever thing allowed you to sense them, Arthur. So something else.
I think technically the black winged friend in Kestrel was celestial. Just be on the lookout.
Isabel would be somewhere in the middle, I guess. Maybe behind Kavan.
oh, I've got the Nathaniel out there. What am I doing? I know you guys can't see anything yet. It's just for me. Just for me. So I assume the rest of you are just kind of bunched somewhere in between.
Yep, sounds good.
As you are walking through this area, Arthur kind of leading the way after halting the group, keeping your eyes peeled for celestials, apparently. Kavan and Isabel, what's your passive?
14.
I can't imagine it's 10. Could it be 10? That's what's on my sheet.
Could be 10. How good's your perception? Yeah, 10. 10 it is. So, Isabel, you actually see this because first Arthur, just as he's kind of walking, bow drawn, eyes peeled, Kavan kind of obscuring your view a bit, but you swear you see this little, like, almost like this strange ripple. So like if you were to drop a pebble in water, you would see the ripples come out. But it's almost like this strange orangish arcane or something ripple that's in the air. Kind of very dull. And at first you're like, you see it happen and you're squinting. And then as Kavan keeps moving forward, you behind him, you see it's almost as if he passes through something, this invisible barrier that isn't there. And as he does so, these kind of orange ripples kind of go out of him, and then they fade and fuzz away. And those of you in the back, after Kavan does this, you can probably all see these ripples. And Isabel, it kind of happens, a few feet, maybe 6 feet before you, that you see these kind of ripples as Kavan's just walking. And Arthur and Kavan are continuing walking on. Nothing appears to have happened to them as far as they or you can tell, but you did see this kind of like shimmering ripple.
She immediately kind of turns back to see if anybody else noticed it. And specifically looking back towards Stephen.
And that is where we'll take our 8:05 break. What could be happening here? We'll find out soon. Stay tuned. Listen to our cool ads. Buy some
After these
Clorox
ads.
wipes or something. Speaking of radiation, someone just maybe walked through some. Because that's where we're going to jump in, where a shimmering orange ripple has two pebbles in the form of Arthur, well, three probably, Arthur Cat and Kavan pass through a wall that they didn't seem to see or feel. But Isabel, you did see such. Everyone else, what's the highest passive? Is it Xerxes? Of the bunch?
Yeah, 16.
Okay, yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm
15.
on the other side.
Yeah, unluckily for you, Arthur, you were the first to walk through it. Didn't get the chance to see it. But Xerxes, you do, with the 16, pick up the same thing that Isabel saw. But everyone else just, maybe we're just not looking. I mean, they didn't look like they were about to pass through a wall or anything. So we were looking in a different direction. Who's to say?
Are they still visible?
They're visible, yeah. You don't even see you don't see anything anymore. The ripples fade rather quickly. They were very dull, and everything seems normal, except to maybe Isabel and Xerxes, who saw some weird ripples happen. And the ripples happened about in the exact same spot for both Isabel, because Isabel, you kind of caught the first ones, and then also saw Kavan go through. So it seems like there might be some kind of stationary invisible wall of some kind that they just kind of passed through.
Yeah, Isabel will kind of do a full stop after seeing that in front of her. And we'll look back to see if anybody notices. And I guess maybe notice Xerxes kind of eyeing it. And we'll kind of... Did anyone else see that? Xerxes?
Oh, you saw it too, huh? I thought maybe it was just something I ate for breakfast.
No. Stephen, could you come up here?
What's going on?
Isabel will go up to the point where she thinks she saw it and just like pass a hand through it.
Yeah, so as Isabel kind of brings her hand close and like starts to like put her hand up there, you can kind of see as these like little like orangish glowing lights kind of coalesce around her, and as her hand kind of slowly breaks the plane, they just kind of like ripple out. It's very dull, this orange glow, as she does this, but it's almost like she's like skimming her finger in the water or something, and the waves are just kind of rippling out. But it's just these kind of like little shimmering orangish lights.
I do an Arcana check.
Yeah.
Oh, could Isabel also call for Arthur and Kavan to stop?
Yes, absolutely. I have
We're
to
like 60 feet away by now.
We stop.
No, they probably would have
very
heard someone
clearly.
say something. Yeah. I'm restarting my roll 20 because, of course, I accidentally popped out my chat. But yes, even with the 27, this is 100% something like arcane, and it's you've heard of spells like walls of force, like these arcane walls that don't allow things to pass through them, and there's a lot of like arcane walls, and just with like seeing these little like seeing Isabel's hand pass through, for instance, immediately like kind of takes you off the trail of wall. You're not certain the size of this thing, but you know that from the description that it happened as they kind of passed through it. So it's something they passed through. There's a lot of possibilities for something like this. It's hard to tell just by the visual, but your best guess is like some kind of abjuration of some sort. Maybe it's some kind of like alarm system. Maybe it's some sort of like effect that like now something may be affecting them. Something like you're not positive, but there's something happening here that is arcane in nature. You just don't know by the without necessarily seeing the effect, possibly, or identifying, or something a little more.
Well, I could dispel it. If it's an alarm system, then they already know we're here. But if it, will have some sort of lasting effect, I could maybe keep it from affecting the rest of us. We don't come as enemies to honest people, but if there are people in search of the Ember, that's a different story.
So, we just passed through it? Do you think it's most...
Unless y'all think I should dispel it just to be safe.
Could we identify it?
Can I? It's not an object, quote unquote.
It's possible to identify, to a point. You don't necessarily know where it is, like where its central point of origin is. It's possible you could find something of that nature by detecting magic first. Identifying could get you mixed results at this point.
And remind me, we are on still the outskirts. We're about to cross the outer wall. We're not even in the heart of.
Yeah, you're basically in the outer wall, starting to enter into the city.
I don't know.
Somewhere in that region. It's hard to tell exactly where the outer.
Yeah, but not close to the heart of the city was what I was checking. We weren't about to walk into the keep or someone's house. This is
no, yeah, it doesn't seem so.
Yeah.
Well, those two seem unaffected. Yeah. And if it's some kind of proximity alarm, maybe just save us some time. Come find us.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kavan would relish the challenge if they have ill intent.
Yeah, let's just keep going. We are doubly on our guard now, I guess.
Kavan loves the new story-based XP that he no longer has to miss out on because Nathaniel won that day. So he could take a battle or leave it,
All right, I guess let's keep on going, and Steven will walk through and see if anything happens.
Yeah, so as Steven walks through, you all kind of see it now, this kind of ripple of orange. It kind of coalesces around his figure, and as he kind of passes through, Steven, you feel nothing. You don't even see really anything because just looking forward, but this kind of like shimmering glow of orange light just kind of ripples out in this kind of circular pattern around him before just kind of fading into nothingness.
Okay.
We all pass through.
Yeah.
Okay. As Isabel and Xerxes kind of walking pretty near to each other after Stephen passes through, the two of them kind of pass through, and those of you still looking, maybe expecting the same thing, you see the light kind of like come out from them and then brighten and then brighten, and the ripples don't fade as they did with the others. The ripples continue. Out from them, almost like if you were on a battleship looking at the radar. Boop, boop, and it goes out into the air on this kind of massive wall, just rushing into the air, and you see it hit the ground around you, and it almost like sends sparks into the earth. And you can see as these ripples go out, and if we're looking like kind of like at a backed up wide shot, these ripples are kind of like flying through the air on this massive invisible shimmering wall. And as we pan out back further and further, we can see this wall is almost kind of domed, and near the center, these ripples kind of like start to get smaller and fade in, and less domed, more donut shaped, if you will. And as they fade in towards the center, they're kind of dropping near the structure in the center of Central, this blackened keep, this old cathedral-like Gothic-looking structure where these now orangish, bright light is just shooting down towards the center. And as it shoots down towards the center of it, everything goes dark.
Like the sky?
The light's now gone. The Xerxes and Isabel kind of standing there on the other side of this barrier seem to do nothing when the others pass through it. And then you hear this Nazgul-like screech echoing from somewhere in the distance. And this kind of glowing orange light start to coalesce, kind of silhouetting this black cathedral in the distance. Everybody roll a perception check. Oh yeah. Them some good checks. Couple bad checks, couple good checks. The bad checks were whispered, which is funny. Both of them.
Yeah, that was an accident. You guys must know I rolled a 5.
I beat that.
Where I rolled a natural 1.
Kazan did beat that, just barely. Artie, Xerxes, and maybe for a split second, maybe Saru and Anna think they see something in the distance, in that orange glowing light. Arthur and Xerxes, you see it more clearly. There is this kind of figure that you see kind of like rise into the air, kind of behind the city in the clouds, this kind of orange glow behind them. It's silhouetted, it's dark, but it is moving quickly. It is rushing headlong out from the city, and there are these two large trailing wings that are just black, and they trail into nothingness behind it, and it is moving quickly towards you. It's very far away. Very far, I would say. Within a mile, yeah. Within a mile, probably.
Hide! The hut!
You want the hut?
Can we hide in it?
Is there a place nearby that off the beaten path or in a corner, that sort of thing?
There may be. But first,
Roll, make a roll, make a
I'm going to talk some turn order to figure some things out.
Yeah, I've got questions.
There's nothing for us to click onto if that makes a difference.
There will be in a second, just so that I can get you onto a map so you can see.
You roll at disadvantage, Will, with Kavan?
Advantage.
Oh, ooh. Anna, don't forget we have an extra D8.
Anna? Anna?
Jeez Louise. What a joke.
It's some kind of just do a random.
We need a fast initiative.
Random combat tunes.
Of all, I even plan, like, hey, Steven wants to be able to do stuff.
Can you do that time warp thing?
Say again?
Can't you do that time warp thing?
And re-roll my initiative? I don't know if the DM would allow.
If it makes you feel better, you're like in the top 3 or 4.
I know. I was aiming for like the 30s for this one. That's what the goal was.
I'm glad Kavan's our fearless leader.
Yeah.
Anna got a nice 8 on that D8 roll, though.
Yeah, we rolled great on it. It was well used.
Okay. Just have some more tense tunes in the background. I think seems good for the moment. Do you guys still keep alacrity, or is it gone?
We keep it. It's an 8-hour spell.
That's dope. All right, I'll keep that green dot on. That's what that is.
Which direction is the?
South is where you saw it. Those of you that saw it, south is Centrel, so down on the map.
Michael,
I'll spoiler alert you. There's nothing on the map. No enemies on the map or anything. Steven, what'd you say?
I'm a 16 for my initiative. I don't know if that changes anything.
16.16?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Doesn't.
Nice.
Arthur edged you out.
Well, maybe we'll beat Demon Lord guy.
Yeah, who's to say? That may or may not have been rolled yet. So who's to say? But we'll start with Anna. Is there anything that you'd like to do? We're going to move in some turn order for the moment. See what happens.
Anna will cast Spider Climb.
Love that.
And her and Luness will basically like drop down in these crevices.
So dope.
So Luness will hover down. I don't know. Anna will maybe be like, 10 feet. And just sort of will be waiting down there.
Anna's like, see ya.
Yeah.
spider climbs, which is it's so dope. And goes alongside Kavan.
So based on that, does he know something's going on?
What was your check? Your checky check?
It was the lowest of the low.
I mean, what you saw, the last thing you saw was that bright light go behind the city, and then it start to glow. You did not see an enemy. You just saw that glow, and it seems not great, probably, but you did not see any shadowy demon or whatever it may or may not be.
Yeah, I don't think he would do anything. I think he would hold his turn in so much as if Arthur walks forward, he'll continue to walk, and if Arthur stops, he'll stop.
Beautiful. Well, we're about to find out what Arthur's about to do.
Quickly, follow me. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah. We'll rip that. He'll call out to get close to him.
Nope. Kavan does so. God, why does the music just stop playing? Oh, it's just really low? Great. Beautiful. Pass without trace. Active. Steve up.
So I'm sorry, just point of clarification. Only Arthur and someone else saw the creature, and they have not made that clear yet.
Things are happening too quick.
That's why I'm asking, because that would affect.
I thought Arthur shouted something.
I'm kind of asking
something about the
Michael.
hut.
Yeah, Arthur shouted something and also was like on me, and then cast Pass Without Trace, and you kind of see him find this area in the shadows, and he's kind of trying to usher people into them.
Okay, thank you. That's enough, I think, for what I need.
Really hoping for no area of effect spells.
Stephen will begin casting a spell, and
cluster.
It has a casting time of 1 minute.
Beautiful. Start counting those rounds.
Yep.
We'll see if we need them. Isabel.
Val did not see the thing in the sky, but I don't think she would think those waves were anything good either, especially noticing that they came from her and Xerxes. So as she's going to group up with Arthur, she's going to tap Xerxes on the shoulder briefly. And the light will flash out, and you now have that.
Awesome.
Okay. That is it.
Saru.
Yeah, just move there, I suppose, and call it a day.
A day it is called. Oh, I never rolled for Sara to see anything. Her perception is good, actually. She saw what she saw. She'll absolutely move in towards Arthur. Sounds great.
He'll say, well, leaves on it.
Everyone to make stealth check. You get a +10 to your roll because of Artie and his badassery.
That could have been so much worse.
I don't think I have heavy armor.
Idea what that is. Either way,
Still,
it
the
does roll
worst
the
one was
6.
first.
Is that just like a roll 20 thing automatically doing it? Maybe you just have heavy armor on your sheet. It's like picking that up or something.
I do like that Gavon is a barbarian who gets guidance. It's just very strange. Very just.
I think he meant to say it's very well. It's very, very well.
Yeah, it is very well.
He doesn't. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, huh?
Is that guidance?
Right.
Yeah, no idea.
No one's mine, Will.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no. Really, guys, I promise.
No one's mine. Don't even care.
Anna, it is your go. As you're kind of standing there in the little ravine, which is dope. We need to get Anna some boots of spider climb, I think.
Yeah, I think she's just gonna.
She's into that.
I think she's just gonna hang out. Maybe move a little closer over here.
Love it. Getting ready, preparing for that fireball. It's good.
I feel like
Kavan.
I feel like the idea of everyone getting fireballed and then just like rippling right above Anna's face, and she's like, "Oh, that came out hot."
Vaughn is going to take. What is better, the hide or the dodge? The hide? I want to take the hide.
Roll a stealth check and add a +10. No heavy armor, you say?
That's what I say.
34 ain't bad.
He doesn't get the 4 though. That's
Wings.
not a real thing. Perma guidance would be awesome, but
guidance would be an action. So who's
What does Arthur perceive?
Arthur, looking at the surrounding sky before you area, the orange light is kind of emanating from the city still. But Arthur, you do see something. It is, we'll say, because of the vast differential between our roles. That Artie's, rangerness, we'll say. His keen, Legolas-like eyes.
Or can it be because Nick's a baller at rolling?
Nick's also a baller at rolling, and we'll just say,
You see that natty 13?
Michael
Look at that.
has not been good tonight. Because you see this kind of displacement of air, almost as if something is like halfway between our plane and the plane that it is currently traveling on. And there is just this kind of like weird shimmering shape that Arthur somehow catches a glimpse of heading in your general direction. You would say if it started 1,000 feet away, it is about 500 feet away at this point.
Isabel, it moves very quickly. I'm between planes. I'm not sure what it is. Arthur will draw Philia Fey and knock an arrow in preparation for whatever could come, and will wait.
As you draw Philia Fey, you see this light.
No.
And then it immediately fades, and kind of wraps away, and you hear, in your mind, as she basically winks at you. And I think your character is actually glowing still, so I'm gonna make sure that stops. But great. I think Isabel, do you wanna have light around you currently? You technically do, but I can remove it. It's not completely dark, I don't think. And if it is too dark for people to see, just let me know.
No, you can remove the light.
Okay, I think you were just still emitting light. Great. I'm using the new Roll20 business. Artie, so you've drawn Philia Fey. Anything else you'd like to do? She out. Steve-O. For a moment, you thought Arthur really messed everything up, but Philia Fey did not actually shine any bright lights. Just started to.
So, we haven't had this issue before. If I get cut off in the middle of a casting time for whatever reason, do I lose the slot? Or is it just like, nope, you just wasted that 30 seconds and you don't get that back?
It's a good question. I believe when you start casting this spell, you are
committed,
I believe.
Okay.
I can look it up because Steven would know that either way.
Yeah.
So who's to say? Let's see. Let's see what the boards say.
That's how we've done it before.
I would
like
presume,
if you're holding an action or whatever.
Definitely if you're holding an action, but he has technically started.
Yeah, and I'm not holding
spell casting. Oh God, that's the wrong board.
Okay, here we go. Well, this board says if your concentration is broken, the spell fails, but you don't expend a spell slot. If you want to try casting a spell again, you must start over.
That makes sense because when you're holding or when you're readying a spell, you've cast the spell and you're holding it.
Yeah.
And readying it to be released. But when you're starting to cast a spell, you haven't cast it yet, and it doesn't technically complete until you complete the casting time. So I'm into that. So yeah, you can continue. Though it will take up your action this
right, yeah,
round.
of course.
So if you continue.
Can I speak, or am I so once again, sorry, these are dumb questions, but can I be speaking while I'm doing it?
What's the What's the components of the spell?
All 3, so I cannot.
No. Yeah, you're very. If you're going to be casting a spell, you got to be.
Checks. Yep.
But you would have been able to hear, what Isabel and Arthur shared. So it's
That I know
Arthur
he moves super quick.
He said he's moves very fast. That he's between planes or whatever Arthur said. So it's like if that catches your ear and you're like, I'd rather prepare something else.
Yep, and that's what I need. I just want
to do that.
Yeah, sorry for such a long turn, y'all. Steve is going to break off what he's casting, and he will tell Kavan and Saru and maybe Anna. Sorry. Get closer to me if we need it. I have something that can at the very least shield us from this creature. But you have to be within 10 feet. And that's my turn.
You? Isabel.
Arthur said something to Isabel about something coming, some creature, right? She'll step forward. Can she try and look for it?
Yeah, roll a perception check. With advantage with Arthur's kind of guidance on the matter that he gave you on the last turn. Oh boy, yeah, you have a kind of the as he kind of says this and kind of points it out to you, Isabel, like you're able to follow, and with that roll, you are also able to kind of like see this kind of like strange, area in the air where it just something seems off, and there seems to be this kind of like rushing shape headed your way, this kind of large, mechanically large probably, so like a 10 by 10 shape maybe in the air, headed your direction.
Can I tell if it looks familiar at all to the thing we saw in Kestrel Academy?
I'll say with that perception check, it looks smaller, but it's hard to tell.
Right.
Mostly because it may or may not be on another plane of existence, and there's just some funny business happening.
Isabel, not too familiar with Arthur's bow and what goes on between them two. We'll reach out for it. Grabbing Arthur's bow, but casting.
That was the best I've ever. Grabbing Arthur's
bow.
Oh shit.
We'll cast Weapon of Malice on it.
I'm so scared.
First hit is a 4d6. Every hit after is a 2d6.
So dope.
I'd like you to do that every time.
Michael can't wait to get us back in characters that are under 10.
Oh, God. Level 10's so scary. Why'd I give you turns?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It is.
All right, and
maybe I already know the answer.
And it's Fireball.
So
Fireball, legendary action, Fireball.
Action surge, Fireball.
6 flame skulls appear.
That is Isabel's turn.
Awesome. Saru?
Lewis step forward and just ask to no one in particular. What's going on? Why are we all huddled beneath this? Well, what once was a tree?
Sad tree.
That's it.
You.
But
Zerts.
Just chilling.
Chillaxing. All right. Another stealth check, if you will. For the group of you. Plus 10.
This without a trace is so clutch, Nick.
Surely I've got like a advantage on stealth somewhere.
It's worth a shot.
Ooh.
Anna, it is your go.
Are we just sorry? Am I up?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't see how to do anything different.
You.
Just waiting for Doom for the Nazgul to show up.
Waiting for
Are you-
Doom.
Are you level with us, Anna, or are you below us?
She's a little below.
Yep. Okay. Don't mind me.
I love this map, by the way, Michael.
Funny you should say that. Someone on this call made this map.
Okay, well,
Bartlett, great job.
yeah,
Great job.
that's awesome, Bartlett.
Kavan, it is your go. And this track might be new. I don't know. Or very old.
At Steven's behest, will back up to get within 10 feet, and he has heard enough now to stop hiding and start holding his attack action.
Oh, here we go. He's ready. Artie.
Will hold my second attack action.
Just the second one, though.
And the first two. Just the one.
Steven.
Anna, can you come up more level with us? My protection will not extend down below the ground. And so, just to be clear, we're gonna try and fight this thing, right? We're not gonna try and run.
what even is it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. They just said something big was coming.
It has wings. Where would you propose we run to?
Yeah, it's moving like 100 feet a second.
Well, we could always teleport.
We've killed everything we've come across so far. We're good at range.
All right.
Anna can come up.
Cool.
Or Anna will on her turn come up.
Yeah,
level.
yeah. Then with that, Steven will say something, and do a hand motion, and all of a sudden a bead appears in between his fingers, and he will look at Isabel and say, "On my if there's a chance, and I tell you to crush this, you'll know what to do." And he'll hand you that, and you now have this little
shotgun. That was me shotgunning your bead.
Oh, okay, yeah. You've got this little gray bead that round yay big.
Have you used this before?
No.
Okay.
I'm scared. I'm scared to know what that
But
is.
just
Yeah.
Very scared. Very scared. Horrified, even.
I don't think I don't think we're gonna get a chance to do it, but we're gonna try.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my turn.
Great.
Oh, Isabel. She had something else in mind, but she's gonna hold on to this and hold her action to crush it.
And I'll give you more. This is part of my magic. Wait till it gets close, and when I tell you.
Okay, she'll wait for Steven's word.
Yep, there you go. That's what I needed.
Yeah.
Before Isabel's turn, something happens. That something is creature that looks like this. Appears just kind of out of thin air and appears to be kind of scanning the area. It almost appears like it is ready to attack with a very large blade. And this thing is just kind of made of this like ever moving, just like dark shadow. And it is backed by this kind of glowing light from the city behind it. It's kind of hard to make this thing out. Arthur, would you like to use your action to fire upon it? Because that is your option.
We'll hold for a second longer.
Great. Beautiful. It's going to perceive the area where it hath appeared. Kavan, I presume your action is a melee attack rather than a ranged. So.
Yeah, sir.
Great. You see this thing kind of as it just appears, it's looking around, kind of low to the ground, kind of just peering. Takes a few steps, moving about. Isabel, it is your turn.
Isabel holds her action to crush the gray bead until Stephen gives his word.
Beautiful.
Wait till it's closer.
It's through. Is that a nada?
Nothing.
Sarah will follow everyone's lead. She's going to draw, but nothing more. Xerxes.
Same. He will. He'll attack if somebody else attacks.
Everyone, you can roll their stealth checks. Now, top of the round. Don't forget good. We get a +10 for these guys. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Anna, it is your go.
Anna's gonna. Oh damn it! That's too meta. She'll like slowly creep up, spider climbing, and like stick her head up and see the flame guardian. So that's 10 feet of movement. She will use her bonus action to activate her blade song, and then she will hold. Probably move. She will hold movement. If the thing moves a lot closer, she will, and people start to attack. She will charge at it with her Talir, but she will wait until all of the volleys go off.
Kavan.
Kavan will hold his action.
Alrighty.
Hold! He says quietly.
Love it. Steve-O.
This is the crappy part of playing the wizard. Steven is going to move. And motion Isabel forward a little bit, and is going to begin casting a spell, and he is holding his spell for Isabel to release the aforementioned magic.
Is the creature's turn. Vanishes into darkness.
We'll come forward a little bit, like Steven motioned, and same as last time.
Wait.
Yep, holding action for the same thing.
Saru.
And we'll just ask, is it going?
More of the same from Sarah.
Yeah, I'm just chilling, I guess.
stealth checks.
Stealth rolls started coming back to earth a little bit.
Plus 10, though.
Thank goodness for Kavan's guidance.
It's the blessing of the Soldanos.
Yep.
Anna, it is your go.
Just disappeared and we don't know where it went. I guess we just keep holding. Hold the charge and move out of it if it's in range.
Kavan.
So Kavan will look over at Steven and say, we've got shit to take care of. And is going to flavor action, take off a strap of the bracer on his left arm that drops down, and Steven sees this disgusting, self-inflicted, as if made by heated pen marks, scar. That's the number 12. And you get the sense, and you would be correct, in that every time he kills a potential usurper, he adds a new pinprick to his scar, and so it's like half an inch tall at this point. And he is going to move out, raise his hammer, and hold his action.
Dope.
To confirm, he's still within 30 feet of me, so he's still within the shadows.
The shadows are still sticking to him like glue, which is good. Hardy, it is your go.
Hold!
A little louder this time, he says. The shadows sticking to his every word. Steven.
Yeah, I guess he's just gonna chill. I mean, he burned the spell slot that he was holding that did not get triggered. So, because I can't keep holding this.
It.
Oh, I can't keep holding it. Oh, then I'll keep holding it. Yeah. Oh, that's good to know.
You can continue to hold it.
I was gonna be super bummed, but yeah.
You can continue to hold it. You can choose to release it.
No, we're holding.
Like to start something else.
Hold.
Okay. Something happens. Let us find out what it is. Bob? Oh, why? Why is it doing this to me? Thank you. Thank you. Kavan rushing from the west, just kind of coming out of nowhere. This creature appears beside you, which may or may not trigger some things for some people. Starting at the top with Anna, would you like to make your charge?
Yep, she would.
Beautiful.
She can get there with her extra movement.
Love that.
So for the held action for movement, do I get to attack or is it like a move?
You have not taken your action.
I did not.
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. Let's see if roll 20 is going to be happy with me. It is not. Of course, finally when we get to do something. Ah! I think I need to delete the app ever since. I truly believe ever since I put it on, I have struggled. Anyways, she's going to do 2 to leader attacks.
Beautiful.
Maybe.
She's gonna try. Well, actually, though, she is actually gonna try. As you strike out with the first, you are met with kind of this shadowy form that does not find any purchase. But the second you do find such purchase.
Sounds good. Can she do any knowledge check?
You can on your turn.
Sounds good.
Beautiful. What else we got? We got Arthur.
All right.
We got Arthur. We got Kavan and Arthur. So Kavan first, since we'll do it by turn order. So Kavan first, and then Arthur.
So 2 rules questions. One, with Anna having reach, if I go to the south, does that count as flanking, or do you have to be like butted up against him on both sides?
Anna can only flanking needs to be butted up.
Okay. And then second question, are bottle caps player given or character given? As in
bottle caps are meta, so player given.
Perfect. I'm not using one, just wanted to know. You know it's going to be raged.
Obviously. And guidanced.
And guidanced. Why not? That'll be the first.
Holy.
How do crits? I guess it's not crit because he's on advantage.
Do you have advantage?
He's raging.
Yeah, he's raging.
He's raging? How do crits work with a -5? Just asking for a friend.
I mean, a crit is a crit.
I thought you had to.
If it's still hits.
I thought you did reckless attack.
Yeah, he's reckless.
Okay. I think all of his attacks are reckless. Yeah, so if a 25 hits on the crit with the -5, then it's a hit. And I'll be. That's a critical threat. Critical threat. Critical. Roll to confirm with advantage.
Jeez.
A 28 -5, by my math, is a 23. And by my math, that does confirm a critical.
Come on.
Devastating blow. Roll damage as normal, and the target is stunned until the end of its next turn, which may be incredible because this is all happening on its turn. So this could be incredible. Con negates. DC is the total of the confirmation roll. The confirmation roll, 23. Here comes the Constitution. Con negates. Constitution saving throw. DC 23. 23.
Oh!
That's safe. That's safe. Turns out it's safe. But the damage was very good. I'd say.
How much tote damage was that?
51.
17, 9, 9, 10. Okay, let me look at my what I got it removed here, if anything. Okay.
No, excuse me.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Okay, then this.
57.
And then this. Okay, great. A very just a way to open it up there.
He'll take a second attack.
What else you got?
Second attack.
A 19, you say? A 19 hits. Beautiful. Anything else on your held action? I presume not.
No, sir.
Arthur, your held action, please.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
No, open damage. I kept double clicking it. It kept like shifting down slowly to the right. I was chasing it. Swift death to you who roamed me.
Oh, nice.
I cry, ripping forth
Swift death to your enemies. Beautiful.
an arrow. Arrow 1 is away.
Oh my word.
Prof, we might not have to do anything.
So remember that's 8d6.
To confirm,
Wow.
25?
Oh my.
25 confirms.
oh baby. Okay. Do you want me to do roll damage first, or do that thing first?
Let's
It's gonna be a lot.
Let's do this and see. Maybe
Okay.
it's who's to say? Maybe it's tripled.
Jeez.
Constitution?
Those levels of exhaustion.
That's a fail. That'll be 2 levels of exhaustion for the creature. Which, if you're wondering, who's to say? I don't remember what it even is. It's not good. Speed is halved. Creature speed is now halved.
Is it disadvantage on attacks, or is that 3rd level?
It is disadvantage on ability checks, and
Okay.
speed is halved.
I'll take it.
Not
I
bad.
can only go 50 feet a turn. A second.
Yeah, who's to say? Who's to say what his speed is? But your damage, I'm gonna just add that to start your dam that I see there, and
Excellent.
then if you want to,
Yeah, then I want to add all the good.
yeah, the really,
Okay. So would that be 8d6 for Croft's thing?
86, yeah,
8d6.
33 points.
Take it.
And then Philly also gets 3d6. Would that be 66 for the crit?
It would.
Okay.
Oh my lord.
Who is this guy?
Hey guys.
Wow.
I think that's all the damage I can do on the first attack.
Is that just incredible amount of damage?
What's that
All right.
total?
What was those two things combined there?
Easily like 120, right? Probably around that. Plus honest 9. Maybe that gets me 20 or 20.
I was
So yeah,
so
48 plus 33 plus 25.
Plus the base bow damage.
81, 106 damage, something like that.
A lot of damo. You got a second attack?
Arthur hit triple digits, yo!
Yes.
See, that does have to make a Constitution saving throw or become poisoned for 1 minute.
Oh, that's also true. I forgot about that part.
Oh, I would love
Every attack after the first for the duration
I
of the
would love
spell deals an additional 2d6 necrotic damage on a hit.
I would love to. Here we go.
Forgot something about his spell.
Con?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
That probably
Yeah, that
saves.
saves. That saves.
It's got a solid con.
Absolutely saves.
Second attack.
Second attack.
17.
17. Does not hit.
I was celebrating the first round.
Goes wide. Steven, do you have a held action that you're holding?
He will shout now, Isabel.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be way overkill considering Arthur and Kavan have basically already killed it, but whatever.
All right. Isabel and Steven, what is happening?
So when Isabel
it.
crushes the bead, she feels this surge of magic that is familiar-ish, but then suddenly very not familiar, as she realizes that she has this new ability that she is like finishing a spell, and she casts Pulse Drain at a spot wherever she chooses, and is holding concentration on Pulse Drain, aka Sickening Radiance. And once Steven sees that, do you want me to pause, Michael, or finish a PQL?
Yeah, let's do the pulse drain first.
Oh, it's more exhaustion too.
Yeah.
Okay, so it spreads around until when a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn, that creature must succeed. Okay, that seems like.
Marshall, you just reminded me. I just confirmed a PQL as well.
Constitution saving DC 18.
Yeah, it'll be on its turn, so you're just using it on its turn?
It is its turn right now.
Okay, and then as Steven sees the light kind of emitting, Croft, I don't know if you want to pick out an area for where...
I was already measuring it because it's 30-foot radius and I don't want to hit our own people.
Oh,
right?
Perfect. Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah. So this spot should be good.
Right?
Yep. And so as he sees the light and like that dim green light kind of swirling, kind of sinking into the ground off this creature, Steven will cast Wall of Force, completing what he has dubbed the Skyfall stratagem, casting this hemisphere dome right on top of the Flame Guard, and it'll basically do one of those things, trapping him in there, and he's now under and inside a Wall of Force.
I love it. Great. Just reading. It's lovely. It's just lovely.
So if I understand it right, he's basically going to have to make 9 more con saves.
I think he just may have to do exactly that. So good. So good. So he takes no damage on the first, right?
Yep.
Talk amongst yourselves about what you may want to do for the next 9 or so turns, because what you might see is this creature kind of phasing into and out of existence within this kind of wall of force that Steven has created within this area of Sickening Radiance, which I believe may 30-foot radius sphere summon.
What's your question?
The light spreads around the corners. The creature moves into this area. My question is deciding if splitting the spell severs the spell's reach.
So I've done a lot of research on this. The boards would say no.
Nothing can physically pass through the wall, but the sickening radiance already existed.
Hence the timing.
Greenish light spreads through the sphere. Doesn't say it emanates from a specific place. I think he's stuck in a box.
Is it where he can't go to the plane at all, or that he's stuck in the jar in the other plane?
He's also stuck there in the other plane because that's how Wall of Force works. It extends to the ethereal plane, and it just so happens that the plane that he does go to is the ethereal. He has no other place to go.
For those of you wondering, this is Steven's new ability that
the cool ball.
I can freeze my spells in time and give them to people or use them myself or do whatever. And this is for, in this example, these are 2 concentration spells. And so Isabel is teaming up with Steven here and very, very excited about this. I've been waiting for months to do this exact thing.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's dope. Oh, I just realized the Flame Guard is immune to exhaustion, so but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh, by the way,
can't use his movement at the moment.
It's fucking awesome.
You gotta look through all his things just to make sure there isn't something. But I think it works. I do think it works. I really do. Okay, it has some things. Nothing can physically pass through. Yeah, I think we're rolling. I think we're rolling 9 more times. As the rest of you kind of move, I assume to positions of strength, maybe around it. If it does somehow survive the following items, which are Constitution, so it does have that on its side, but so it. Let's just start, and we'll get back to it.
Vaughn holds his hand up to the Wall of Force like the prisoner visitation window.
All right, the first. Can I get some pulse drain damage? 4d10. Oh yeah, baby. Beautiful. The second. 4d10. As this thing just like shudders in this horrible.
Is it actually immune to exhaustion, by the way?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell if you were joking or not.
No, it actually turns out it is. The third. Oh yeah. It's not good. It's not good, ladies and gentlemen.
This thing has so many hit points.
The fourth. +9. What can it do? Roll above a 20.
Rolling well
And-
damage too.
That will do it in. And let me tell you, the worst thing it could have done, apparently, was attack when it did. Because attacking on its turn turns out to be the thing that killed it. And on post the burnt, or burnt burnings, or whatever the post show is.
Embers.
Embers is obviously what it should be called. Remember this moment, because it's very interesting, and I from this side of the screen, very proud, and also so angry, because there's just so many things. But there's more to this creature's story. Wow. Incredible. Love it. Stephen and Isabel, how do you want to describe how this happens? Isabel's first use of arcane magic, she's concerned.
She just sort of kind of initially just not knowing what's happening, but trust Steven at this point. He knows his stuff. And she just confidently just brushes it.
Well, and the thing about it too, Isabel, I'll add, is you are the caster for concentration purposes, so...
Right, I understand the spell when I crush it, right?
Yep, yeah, so you understand all of it. And so, like, it is just surging through you, and it's, like, very foreign because you've never experienced this arcane magic before, but, like, it is incredibly powerful. And, like, as you're focusing, like, you can see... the light pulling off the creature, and I think the best way to describe it is, like, if you didn't have it already, like a light bulb clicks on like why Stephen was trapped and captured by the unseen, because like as it surges through you, like it is just incredibly powerful. And Stephen on his end is like, as he's trapped in the wall of force, like runs and does a cartwheel and is just like fist pumping, like, yes, I figured it out. Oh, yes. Oh, you're mine now, Captain. You're mine. And like, he is just so excited. Like, imagine the evil laugh from Emperor's New Groove from the cat, just like, like that he'll probably let that just come out, because you're seeing a very like happy but different side of Steven that you don't get to see.
Brilliant, Steven.
As this creature kind of within, stuck, basically trapped in this glass cage of emotion, it does kind of fizzle, and the smoke and ash, the shadow fades, and by the time that the sickening radiance of the first spell and the wall of force vanishes, this creature is no more. And we are out of combat. Played the wrong thing, or hit the wrong button.
All right, guys, let's go get this fucking ember.
At that, we're going to take a quick break because I really have to be right back.
Marshall, I've wanted to do something like that for so long now.
I have been waiting for that for probably close to a year. Like, when I was looking ahead and saw that and thought, like, oh, that'd be really interesting. And
I didn't
like,
know that ability existed.
it's pretty OP, and depending on who you read.
Super cool.
Yeah, I'm so like the possibilities. Like, so Nick, when I mentioned to you last session, like, hey, would you like full cover? Like, Steven has the hut on his spell list prepared. He is not casting it as a ritual. So what I really meant to do last week, just got shy about it, was to cast the hut into the bead, give it to you, and you could basically just pop it and start shooting out of there, because we established in Mountain Heart we can shoot from inside the hut. And like there's just all sorts of like fun little possibilities for it that I'm super pumped about.
So glad that Michael's not here for this conversation, and that this is definitely getting cut from the recording, so he can't
He
listen to our
knows. He
strategy.
knows now. It's. I asked him the other day, like, if I could cast teleportation circle from inside the hut, and he was like, "Yes." So like, it's really
so cool.
That's really cool.
That was a dope combat. I really want to know the dirty deets on what that monster could do to us.
Yeah, it probably wasn't anything good. But I'm so
no, because like I'll tell Michael that I was not wanting to show that ability like in combat until Briarwood for roleplay reasons. But like that's a credit to Michael's DMing that he made just like the whole presentation so scary that both Steven and I were like, nope, we're not taking chances here. Like
we haven't encountered something that moves that quickly.
No, that was freaky.
That was terrifying. Like, could have been very terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're gonna see the +1 version.
Yeah. Well, I was super bummed when I thought like, oh, it didn't see us. Like we were too stealthy. It went away. And then when you walked out, Kavan, I was like, oh, thank you, Will. Like, thank you.
I was actually really glad we kind of missed our stealth spells and Kavan walked out as well because I wanted to fight it.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't want all that prep to go to waste.
No.
You had your bead. I cast a spell. Other people did other stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, critting with the Weapon of Malice.
And then I forgot about Philia phase damage at the top of that too.
Yeah. And Will, your damage is ridiculous.
Well, that's at that level where the barbarian fighter with double attack and rage and the right fighting styles, like it's at its peak now. It'll peter out and other things will pass it, but it's just kind of at that level where it's a heavy hitter.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that thing we were fighting, if it goes 10 feet into the air, I don't do any damage.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the pass without trace was pretty clutch.
Yeah, that was really clutch.
Allowing us to set that up.
Yeah, because if that thing had just been able to pop up on us out of nowhere, giving us those 3 turns to kind of figure out, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
How many of those beads can you make? Can you just like sit in the hollow and make like 50 of them?
No, so I can only do it once per short rest. That is the equalizer, which is very fair. And so like it cost me a spell slot. So like I used my 4th level spell.
Yeah.
But so it's not like I got a free spell out of it, but it's super cool for, when we know the situation we're going to, like it can be a real utility knife, I think.
Is that why you said I'm not doing my normal alacrity short rest thingy? That was some kind of logistics with that?
Not. I kind of just wanted to like open the door for us if we wanted to short rest at any point. That meant I would get it back and I would get spells back. Nothing too major there.
Michael, I'm really sorry. That creature took so much damage. That thing had
it was incredible. I don't know how much damage it does. Somebody needs to go in and do the math. But it was pretty fucking dope. I ain't mad. Because that was dope. That was dope. So this thing is destroyed. There's this really funny thing just circling on my screen because like it's very strange. It surrounds the like creature that's active and it is hilariously just like circling. It used to not do that. It's very off-putting.
Oh, for the record, my armor is medium armor, but does give a stealth disadvantage. So even though Roll20 was wrong, it was right.
Was Roll20 also wrong and right against your guidance?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Because I've got, I did this one with the Character Mancer and didn't open up the little wheel that scares people, and I don't want to get in there now.
It is just so scary. Who's to say what's going on?
I did that once with Clavius, and like every level after that, I had to manually redo every ability, saving throw, stat. I broke it.
Any book that I don't have will just make you enter it on its own. Saying that, it is now the game is yours, and the Flame Guard, whatever it may have been, whatever it may have been able to do, we do not know. It is dead and vanished. The orange glow that exists behind the keep of Centrel is still very present in the sky. And you can just see the keep silhouetted kind of in the distance. What do you do?
Head towards it?
Towards the keep. Beautiful. Going to bunch you up. You guys have a marching order, or a formation, if you will. Feel free to drop yourselves into that. Let's say top is like whoever's first, go up at the top. For Roll20 reasons.
Like the top towards Saru?
Yeah, Arthur up, basically.
Anna will take her more customary spot.
Arthur point. Arthur falls down a crevasse and is dead.
Wonderful.
All right. And any of those concentrations and or other bubbles that are not supposed to be active anymore, let me know, because I don't know what's going on.
Weapon of Malice goes away.
Spider climb's good for an hour, so
beautiful.
Maybe.
Yeah, spider climb should still be good.
Would assume my defy death or whatever craft.
It's 8 hours.
I think it's 8 hours.
Oh, all right. I'm never dying.
That's dope. Steven, I presume no more concentration.
Croft, it makes me miss your twin casting sorcerer who could double cast that death ward.
I know.
His name I've forgotten.
And Arthur, how long is
Exalter?
Yeah, Exalter, yeah.
The shadowy stuff?
That one's 10
Test that
minutes,
trace.
I think.
10 minutes, okay. We'll remove the concentration. It'll take a little more than 10 minutes to get to where we're going. I don't know. Anna, one's purple on you?
Spider climb's one, and the gift of alacrity is the other.
Alacrity, yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, the rock! Oh, once I got it, that would have been detrimental. Okay. Full. Okay. Now we better. So, you head towards the keep. As you move in closer and closer through Central, as was kind of stated before, the rubble becomes a little more prominent. The difficult to traverse terrain, not necessarily difficult terrain, but just more rubble, more of these like piles of like ash, char, and just increasing amounts of these skeletal remains, these charred skeletal remains of humanoid forms, and of these larger primordial forms that you see. It appears the Titan, possibly the Burning, who's to say, didn't really care which side you were on, by the looks of all the remains in the area. You move in towards the keep. The closer that you get, the better it is to see that this is not at all the same building that you left. You had been in here, through here, many times. It is like a disaster zone. Like the Titan tore through this area, and there are walls crumbling of this keep. But it is also interesting to see that it is the one thing still standing here. And it is obvious to you and to everyone else that this is the place to go. Where else would you go in this region? And as you approach, you can see that there are many entry points. Hey, Coop, what you doing, bud?
Giving sound effects.
Yeah, it's great. There's horrific monsters growling in the background. You can see that there are many entry points. The main entrance is like crumbled and completely covered up, but just over 30-40 feet to the side, you can see that the wall is cracked, and there is ways to pass through to kind of get into the general area of the keep. It does not seem like something difficult to get into, though the main entrances may not still exist as they once did. But all around this area are just the signs of war. War hath happened here, and it is pretty grim. And just overhead, this kind of dim orange glow, just kind of illuminating everything.
Anna will probably mutter something and be like, I don't know how anybody could possibly live here. Anyways, I'd say we head on in. Whatever we're looking for is likely there. And we'll just sort of pick one of the entrances near the cave and main entrance and sort of point people to go that way and see if we can start working our way through the rubble towards the center.
Whoever wants to point this, roll me a survival check.
Or not advantage.
No advantage or yes advantage?
No advantage. It's not my terrain.
Devastated ruined castle.
Hmm?
Devastated ruined castle is not your train.
No, it's my home, but I didn't grow up around it, so didn't get good at it.
So you start to find your way in. You find an entrance. It's got some crumbling areas. You think better of it, kind of back out, find a new area to go in. That looks a little more sturdy, a little more sound, and you start to ease your way through. It's fairly slow going, but it's doable. Takes you a little bit of time, but eventually you're kind of able to get into this kind of main structure through kind of these long hallways that have crumbled. You have to pass through some rooms. The walls kind of crumbled, but smaller. So you're making the small increments kind of through this structure before pushing away some rubble and kind of finding your way inside. And as you do, you kind of clear the way. And the first thing you see above you is that kind of orangish glowing light kind of coming from this heavy clouds above you. And you can see you are within the structure, but the structure has no roof or little roof. And it is vast, this area. This may be some kind of grand entrance. It's like Grand Central Station, how large we are in here. It's huge, seeing these vaulted ceilings, or once vaulted and now kind of crumbled, and above just seeing this kind of orange sky. You start to step out and you're stepping over rubble. You're stepping over swords, arrows, bodies. There are, let's just say, the many signs of like chaos happening in here. But the rubble seems fairly unmoved. Like you're not getting a sense that much else has passed through here, at least not in the area of which you are in. Everybody roll me a perception check. Saru, Isabel, Stephen, as you kind of get out, you guys kind of push your way forward a little bit onto the floor, basically, of this massive space. The three of you are drawn, let's see, towards one area in particular, as the rest of you are kind of scanning around, looking distracted by the chaos that must have happened around you. But Stephen, Isabel, and Saru, your eyes are drawn to an area about, who's say, a little over 100, 120-ish feet away, a good fireball's distance away.
Pay no mind to the specific comparison I made.
Yeah, it's the same. Where you'll note that the floor seems to like give way somewhere before that, maybe like 30 to 40 feet in front of you, and it seems like there's kind of like emptiness. But going out further, there is these rafters, these beams, these walkways, maybe it's just floor that's still intact that kind of extends. And there's this one area about 120 fireball distance away, especially Steven, he thinks like that probably, that there is this kind of mass of skeletons, bodies, and they almost all look to be gathering around some structure, some maybe coffin-like structure, and they're all kind of like gathering around it, all kind of facing inward, and they're just dead, these skeletons kind of laying there. And in the center is this stone vessel, this large stone bowl, and all of the skeletons that are surrounding it in this kind of pile seem piled on each other, all kind of seem like they died reaching towards this bowl. That is what you see before you as you enter this space.
Hey, Isabel, come look at this, maybe. And Anna, nope, that's not right. Talia, was that it? Yeah.
Nailed it.
Same to you. This altar thing.
Does the bowl represent some sort of thing related to sin?
Make a
brazier or something?
Make a religion check, yeah.
Can Anna make one with advantage?
Maybe. Roll it with advantage, and we'll see.
We'll unpack.
We'll unpack.
Well, there we go.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Who's to say if it mattered?
Isabel, you start to think, and not 100% sure on all of Sin's kind of in-depth imagery. A brazier makes sense to you just immediately, just as it, the keeper of flame, stone brazier would certainly be a vessel for such. On a also not like entrenched in all of Sin's teaching, but has a pretty deep knowledge her time here. This area was a large, like massive chamber. The area would have been used to house like commoners to come in and hear the speaking of the pontiff, and looking inward, you can see that the floor is totally missing in some areas. From where you stand, you can't necessarily see how far it may go down, but there is definitely like this space has been absolutely destroyed. But seeing this kind of central region with this vessel upon it, it does, the vessel itself was ceremonial, and was a vessel that was always illuminated here. And it represented Sin's light, and they always kept this vessel burning. And as you kind of look out, you can see that there is no fire within the vessel. The dead bodies are new, that's for sure, along with all the rubble and missing floor. But that is what you know.
Is there a path? Like you said, the floor is missing. One, has it been an hour? And two, if it hasn't been an honest spider climb still active? Is there a path through like bits of, I assume it isn't like floor straight to nothing, like through the ground that you could like spider climb her way to this?
There, you do still have spider climb active. It might not last for I'd say there's probably like 10 to 15 minutes left on it.
That makes sense.
And let me take y'all to a map, and you can tell me what you think you would like to do when you get a better look.
So Anna's like relaying to everybody, the Pontiff used to give his sermons here to the masses. This was the eternal flame of sin, meant to represent. It was never supposed to go out. It was meant to represent sin to all the people. I have the obvious idea is to light it and see what happens. For good or for ill, but
You all are here. And I'll put there's a circle tool now. So I'll do that. Right here. Oh, it looks like a well.
a red well.
Good.
Right here. It looks like
it looks exactly like a well.
That is where all the skellies are, and
so we're not right next to it.
No, we're 100 feet away. A fireball's distance.
A fireball's distance away, as some would say. Maybe a little closer now that Anna kind of stepped forward to get a better look. But yeah, that's what you see before you, and it seems like this area out here where it's darker is kind of where the floor seems to have kind of fallen into a great distance. Is to say how far, how deep, but you can't really see down there. There's crumbling floors of what may have been beneath Central down that way. But that is what you're sharing.
Anyways, my recommendation would be to see if we can't get the fire back up and running. Maybe that can connect something with the entrance to the tomb. Not sure.
Would there be a throne room that we should look for, or is this the most central holy spot?
There are holier spots, quote unquote, to the Pontiff, to the people, maybe. But what Anna would know of this spot in particular, the representation of the holy light of sin, kind of like ever burning there, kind of what she's brought up. This is kind of the most reachable by the masses, by everyone. There are areas that were more sacred and more restrictive.
Yeah, I don't think Anna would know where the Pontiff, like she maybe have a general sense, but I don't think she would actually know where the Pontiff, quote unquote, communicated with sin.
Gotcha. So this is the most public.
Yeah, that would have been cut off. That'd have been cut off to her completely.
It's likely Anna would have been able to get into some deeper areas, but they would have also been the deeper areas that they would have let someone like Anna and someone on the quote unquote outside to get to. But yeah.
So if we have to keep exploring, we have to keep exploring. But
This is a good place to start, is what you said, and I'm on board.
Yeah. 2 questions.
Yep.
How much of what we can see on this map is on our level? Like, is the altar like a level below us or multiple levels?
Basically, anything that is lighter or matching the coloration of what you are on is basically on your level. Maybe some of it is a little higher or a little lower, but basically all the stuff that's like out here or in here or in here that isn't on this altar itself is like the lower portion. Basically, treat everything else as if it's on your portion.
And the bodies that are everywhere, are they bodies with like clothes or skeletons?
There's some armor on them, sure, but it's skeletal.
Is there cloth?
They are skeletal. Some of them, the cloth is
no,
mostly gone.
All bed sheets are gone.
Not a bedsheet question. As soon as Anna mentioned that was like as soon as Anna started mentioning that was like an eternal flame, Saru would have been looking for some sort of kindling or stuff to light on fire to relight it, and would continue to gather like little shirts or clothing scraps.
Yeah, you might be able to find some
scraps or stuff that would at least start burning.
That has persevered. Not much, but there is some that you could start together.
Would a firebolt suffice? There are too many corpses. It's gonna take a fireball or someone to go up there.
There are a lot of corpses surrounding this thing, and it's kind of get lifted in the air a little bit. From where you are, you can't see what's in the bowl.
Steven, you wanna see if you can get it magically going?
Well, wait. Last time he did that, a bunch of skeletons came alive and started chasing me and Steven down a hallway.
Points at Saru. Yeah.
I don't want to do that again.
No.
Literally didn't even think about that. That exact thing happened.
Yeah.
Well, you firebolted a brazier from across a room.
I moved skeletons here.
More of us this time.
That's fun.
Still no. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah. No.
Steven's not gonna do it. Anna's gonna start working her way towards the brazier.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go look at it first.
Even though it looks very, very dangerous.
I wouldn't say it looks undangerous, for sure. There are cracks.
I would follow her. She's got spider climb. I've got climbing speed. We're cool.
Great. Love that.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, if you just show me the route that you want to take, and we can talk.
All right. So for this, I imagine Anna's going like up the broken tower, just like straight up vertical and then back down.
just dopely walking over it.
Straight line.
Yeah, just a straight line.
Saru's like having to like shuffle and climb to keep up, but is able to.
Bouncing around.
Literally just like walking like over stuff.
This is the dangerous.
Straight up cartoon style.
So Anna will maybe come to here and just be like, this is the, this looks a little more dangerous, Saru.
If you think you can make it, I'll wait back here.
Yeah, Anna's gonna like step sideways because the side looks a little like better. This direction.
Right, as Anna starts walking across, Steven taking a few steps kind of down on a staircase that's kind of extending in that direction. Stephen, you feel kind of the staircase start to give a little beneath your feet. It's not. It's just, you lose your balance a bit and kind of stumble backwards, feeling that it's kind of like a little bit sketchy as you move. And Anna, as you kind of start to cross spider climbing, you kind of think about things and move a bit to the side, and you step, and you step, and you can feel yourself kind of holding on to that side pretty well, and then you start to feel it slowly kind of crumbling, and your feet are having a harder time staying on, but you're able to stay. You can feel the magic kind of holding you there, and you're able to kind of move all the way across.
So Anna will make it here. I'll look back at Saru and be like, I don't know if I'd recommend that route. I don't know how much more weight that can take. I don't know how else to get across, but I fear the next person who steps on that could go straight down. So Anna will walk away.
Before Anna goes any further, what's everyone else doing? She's kind of calling across to Saru.
Bo is out.
Smart. Philia Faye keeps it dim.
And
Barely shedding any light. Barely, but maybe a smidge. Anna, do you want Lunas with you?
Yeah, I probably should take the bird with me in case anything horrible would happen.
Who's to say?
I can cast through Lunas too if something terrible happens. And I did stock Featherfall today. I almost didn't because I had to drop something for Disguise Self. I was like, I'm gonna be so pissed if I die without Featherfall that it'd get me.
Same. Literally always had Featherfall just in case.
Just like, you're just gonna hate your life. Okay.
What's everybody else doing? Arthur's got Philia Faye out, scanning the area.
Doll's kind of waiting where she is. Just, if anything happens.
Steven's debating whether he wanted to Misty Step over there and decided not to for the moment.
You?
Xerxes is complaining to Kavan about the unstable ground and how it affects his knees.
Solid. Classic.
You're as chipper as you are handsome, Xerxes.
I love that. You just never know with Kavan. Maybe he means it. Sarah was following for a while until she just really couldn't keep up. Trying to scramble over that shit. So she's decided to stop near Stephen and Isabel and pull an Arthur and have her bow up. Or just maybe she's pointing her arm around. Who's just,
soft glow.
Iron Man style.
Yeah. Just, there is something that you all note begins to happen when Anna gets over to that other side, kind of as she moves back atop and starts to make her way over. And by all of you, I mean some of you, because of passive perceptions and such. Anyone that beats a 14?
Beats or
Beats?
Meets or beats.
All right, Anna's at a 14.
It's everybody.
Except Kavan.
Except
For
Kavan.
most of us. Yeah.
Well, that's great for most of you because, you know, rolls and such would provide your passive perceptions, picking up on as you guys are all kind of moving about and making your way to the places that you are in. There's some other movement in and around the area. And it's not just rubble falling here and there. It's things starting to crawl out of the rubble, maybe. Who's to say? But there are some things that start to crawl out of the rubble.
From the bodies, you mean?
Some of them from the bodies, yes. And some of them just from piles of rubble. And because it is 10:23, I can't in good conscience start a combat unless everyone is in to a combat. Because the combat is beginning. So 10:23.
Good, Cliffy.
Things happen. I think the Cliffy is there's a monster's coming, boys.